My name is Tom Waldron, Principal of Cardinal Group. Today we're going to be looking at a couple different leasing reports. We've got the pre-leasing report and the leasing report. The subject property we're going to be looking at is Westmar Student Lofts. I'm in their folder right now, and I'm going to go into their working docs folder. As you can see, we've got a leasing report, Westmar 2011-12. This, in 2010, this was the pre-leasing report. Once everyone moved in 2011, this then became the leasing report. The pre-leasing report 2012-13 is for students that are moving in August 1st, 2012. Let's go ahead and open up the pre-leasing report and take a look at it. First, I'm going to take you to the data setup sheet. This is where all the background information gets inputted in order to set up all of the spreadsheets. We've got unit type, total beds, number of employees. Most of this stuff is already going to be set up by the time you get your hands on this report, but there's going to be certain things that you're going to want to change, such as number of employees may fluctuate, leasing agents may come and go. Never change anything that's in black. This goes for all of Cardinal spreadsheets. As you can see here, new leases in black. Do not change that. In blue are cells that you can change. So we've got new lease here. Renewal stay means that the person is staying in their unit and renewing with us. Renewal transfer means that the person is renewing with us and transferring to a different bedroom or unit. Short-term and full-term leases. A short-term lease is anything expiring prior to July 31st of the following year. And then we've got semesters, first, second, and third, fall, spring, and summer. And then we've got university. You can update this, add to it. Don't delete anything once you've inputted it. And then the marketing sources you can also add to. But again, just don't delete it. The data input tab is where you're going to spend most of your time. And there's reference notes here if you are unclear about anything. This is where once the leasing file has gone from the leasing agent, all of the signatures have been captured and all the paperwork is done, guarantor, security deposit, everything is 100% done. It then goes to the leasing and marketing director for approval. Prior to the leasing and marketing director approving it in AMSI, they must first enter it onto this spreadsheet. These are only people that have been 100% approved and are pre-leased for next year. So we've got the building and apartment. These are drop downs, which reference back to the data setup sheet. Typically, we're going to be moving people into the wait list units as they are pre-leases. And then as we start doing our placement, all you have to do is come in here, find the unit that you want to place them in, and just select that, and I'll take you to the placement sheet in a second. We've got unit types, the rent amount. This is the rent amount, not including any utility upcharges or short-term fees. The leasing agent, lease type, full-term, short-term, lease term, first name, last name, lease signed, lease approved, the lease start date, lease end date, marketing source, year they're going to be, year GTB, is the year that the student is going to be when they move into the community, gender, and university. So all of the data entry per se gets done on this sheet. All the rest of the tabs are tabs that we use to look at this information in different ways. Beginning with the placement tracker, once you put them into a unit, it's going to pull over the person's name, some of their information, and it's going to tell you if they're here for first, second, or third semester. If there's a 0 and it's red, that means the unit's vacant. If it's a 1 and it's green, which you can see here, that means that it's occupied for the full term. And then you can insert notes here as you would like. Leasing goals. Again, only touch things that are in blue. So down here are numbers that are in blue. And this shows, this page tells us how many leases we have to sign per day in order to reach our goal by August 1st. So as you can see here, on today's date, we need 4.69 leases to be signed each day until August 1st in order to hit our goal of 100%. As you can see on 10.1 it was less, 11.1 is 4.2, 12.1 is 4.5, 1.1 it'll probably be 4.8, and then on 1.1 you want to hard code in whatever that number reads so that we can keep track of our historical velocity. Up here, this is a lease approved counter. This will tell us, just insert the dates here, and this is a greater than or equal to date and less than date. So leases that were approved in between these dates will show down here, and it'll tell you whether they were new leases or renewal leases. Moving on to the lease count by agent. This is broken up into two separate sections, new leases and renewal leases. We do this because of the way our commission structures work. These all run by the pay period. And as you can see here, we've pretty much only got renewals right now. On from 11/1/2011 to 11/15/2011, Regina signed 9 leases, Danny signed 3 leases, Josh signed 0. And then you can get a grand total over here. The semester pre-leasing report, this is the report that's probably used the most. This shows how many beds we have leased by unit type and by semester. So you can see here, first semester, got 28 leased, second and third, that's because they're all full-term leases, it's going to go for all 3 semesters. We have some basic demographic statistics over here. New leases, renewals, canceled leases. That's one thing to remember on the data input. You never want to delete any rows or people's information. If somebody's entered in here and they decide that they don't want to live here anymore, you hit lease canceled or lease is expired. That will move them out of the system. Back to the semester pre-lease report. The demographics report will show the year they're going to be, the marketing source, gender, and university. The pre-lease revenue projections. This is really helpful when it comes time for budgeting. It's the average rent amount that we're getting per unit by unit type. So for a 4-bed, we're getting $603 for 15 leases that were signed. It's a total of $9,045. Remaining revenue to secure. These are just basic revenue goals. Over here we have a report that can be helpful to just double check AMSI, get a good read on what's going to be happening moving forward. Basically, you can change these dates and it'll tell you in this summary table how many people are moving in by unit type. So this will sum it up, and then the move-in tab here, if somebody is moving in within those dates, it'll indicate a 1 here, and it'll populate all their information. Over here is a static report. This is helpful to just show the grand total of move-ins for a given month. Move-out report, same story. Just plug in the dates that you want to see when people are moving out or when their leases are expiring, and then it'll do the same thing here at the move-outs, and then show the static report as well. Then we also have graphs by week. This helps to show the velocity over time. We've got over here lease start date, lease approved date, lease signed date, and lease end date. And then this also gets graphed by month. If you have any questions on this, please feel free to let myself know or the portfolio manager. Thanks for sitting through this session, and we look forward to filling this pre-leasing report out. Take care.